שלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני העם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these commandments I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live by my ways. Speak of them when you're home, when you're on your way, when you lie down and get up and go about your day, as a sign on your hand and upon your head. On the side of your doorposts, my commandments may always be read. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekemo Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Please remember, observe all these words that I've said, to live and be holy for years straight ahead. For I am your God, out of Egypt I led. Be holy, be righteous, remember the words that I've said. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekemo Malechuto Leolam Vaed. You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these instructions I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live, oh, to live and remember my ways.
Look around the world, look around your town. Every single age is represented all around. You see them everywhere, every street, avenue or boulevard. Anywhere, any beach, any park or any yard.
L'dor vador, for generations and generations and l'dor vador, vador, vador.
Ecclesiastes said one generation goes and another generation arrives. He got it wrong. For years we all live side by side.
Can you lean on those who arrived here before? Can you learn from those you remember being born?
Can you see that we are all together evermore?
L'dor vador, for generations and generations and l'dor vador, vador, vador. L'dor vador, for generations and generations and l'dor vador, vador, vador. L'dor vador, for generations and generations and l'dor vador, vador.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
You know, for a rainy day in California, they always say nobody likes to go out. But
So many people
we have
here.
thousands of people in the sanctuary. You can't see online, but it's incredible. It might be because we're naming a little baby tonight.
Yeah,
So we're going to get to like go ah and ooh and ing and all that kind of stuff.
Also,
right?
we match. Maybe that's why people.
We match?
Now
Well,
I'm noticing.
kind of. So let's get going on page 24. We're going to welcome in Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem. The Sidurim are under your chair, or you can look on the screens if you can read that far away. Here we go.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim,
24.
HaKadosh
Baruch Hu,
Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon,
Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim,
HaKadosh
Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon,
Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we start with just by bringing some music into the room, getting our bodies to move a little bit, to vibrate a little bit with song, which is always something good to do. Sing a little bit every day. Right, Mark? You bet. So let's bring the light of Shabbat into the room. I'd like to invite, first of all, Amelia Goodman. Let's have her come up first. And any Goodman family member, right up here to the candles. Now we see the baby. No, right here, right here. Everyone do the oohs and the ahs. Oh. Hello. Hi. Yeah, all the Goodman, anyone who considers themselves part of the Goodman family that wants to come up. Everybody, I don't care. I don't care, that's fine. Okay.
Not ready for Shabbat yet. Ah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
So now that we have the light in the room, we started singing a little bit. Let's bring ourselves into this space inside of ourselves. Every week there's so much that happens. Sometimes it's all great. Sometimes a week goes by and you're like, oh my God, there was so much there that, I need to think about. So let's just take a moment now to just kind of go through our week from last Saturday night. If you can't remember what you did last Saturday night, just whatever you remember from the week, just kind of allow yourself to see the week in kind of a big picture and see if there's anything that pops up for you. And whatever pops up, just think about that for a moment and how it's sitting with you tonight. Maybe you want to let it go. Maybe you want to hold on to it a little bit tighter. So just take a moment now for Chazarat HaShavua, for a review of our week. As we continue, let's go to page 20. Let's continue to welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi
לקראת כלה, פני שבת מקבלה.
שמוע וזכור בדיבור אחד,
השמיענו אל המיוחד.
אדוני אחד ושמו אחד,
לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Let us rise and face the entrance, and perhaps the Sabbath bride will walk through the doors this evening.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה,
גם בשמחה ובצהלה.
תוך אמוני עם סגולה.
בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. You all may be seated, except for Louis and Samantha. Would you guys come on up with, again, as the baby comes up, a little bit of oohing and ahhing is appropriate. Oh, let's go on. Before we do that, okay, just a little warm up. According to the Talmud, there's 5 things that these two need to do for their child. Does anyone know what any of them are? One of them we're doing tonight, okay? I'm going to throw that one in there. That is to bring her into the covenant, which is to receive her Hebrew name. That's one. Yeah? Get married, exactly. But you know what? Not everyone gets married. So your job is to teach her to love. Can you do that? Well, I should ask her. Yes. All right, so we got love. We got covenant. What else? Teach him to swim, absolutely. That is a minority opinion. That is still in the Talmud. But no, I think of that metaphorically, right? You have to keep your head above water. You have to go with the flows of life, right? But it also is important. You live in a warm weather climate, probably lots of pools, right? I call it the Beverly Hills rule to learn how to swim. All right, what else we got? Yeah, what are you?
Give her a Jewish education.
A Jewish education, teach Torah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. How many is that? I don't even know how many it is.
We're at 5, but we can keep
I think that we have one more, I think. One more. You're not going to get this, but to teach her an
Oh,
occupation.
Alyssa has one. I love that. I heard it.
What's yours, Alyssa?
Say what it was. Say it loud. No, she said, teach them how to be happy.
How to be happy. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Yeah, absolutely. Could you explain us all how to do that? Because we're having some issues in that department. But the last one is to teach her an occupation. I call that graduate school, right? But that's what you have to, what's funny, because we always say love, right? You have to love them. But it's really, you have to give her the skills to be able to kind of make it in life, right? To be able to kind of live her life and become an adult like the two of you, so that someday she will fall in love with somebody and the Cantor will be doing a baby naming in like, I don't know how many years, 40 years or whatever. But so what we're going to do now is we're going to give her formal name. Then you'll hear how she received that name. And then we have a couple blessings that we want to bestow upon her. But let's go over to the ark for the, you know what, we can do the naming part here. We'll go back, why don't you come on over here. We'll do the blessing over by the ark because I don't want everyone to just stand so much. Hi. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, קיים את הילדה הזאת לאביה ולאמה, ויקרא שמה בישראל נאווה בת סמנתה ויצחק אריאל. ישמח האב ביוצאך לצו ותלצב ותגל אמה בפרי בטנה. זאת הקטונה גדולה תהיה. כשם שנכנסה לברית של אברהם, כן, תיכנס לתורה ולחופה ולמעשים טובים. God of our mothers and fathers, sustain this child through her parents' loving care, and let her be known among our people Israel by the name Nava, daughter of Samantha, and Yitzchak Ariel. May her name be a source of joy to her and inspire her to serve all humankind. And may her parents rejoice in her growth of body and soul. And just as you have brought her into the people Israel, so may you, both of you, with wisdom and a lot of patience, lead her to a study of Torah, to a life of good deeds, and to a love worthy of God's blessing. Okay? And let us all say, Amen. All right, would you like to, here, let me get a mic for you. You want to explain a little bit about her name? 8.
So this is Miss Amelia Rose Goodman. Amelia, because we like the name, and we wanted to call her Millie. And Rose, after my great-grandma on my dad's side. And then coming up with Hebrew names, what could be more fitting as Nava just translates to beautiful. And we loved her the first time we saw her. So that's how we came up with her names.
And then, you know, there was something we were talking about when we met. And any time people get married in a Jewish ceremony, there are 7 blessings that accompany the wedding. And so when a baby is born to a couple that has received the 7 blessings, I like there to be kind of like an echo of those 7 blessings at a naming of a child. And so they came up with 7 things. I didn't know if you were going to have me read them, but I wrote them down here so you guys could read them off. They have 7 things that will lead to really Millie's happiness, health, because we all want health and happiness, right? But these things will lead her in that direction. So what are the things that you want, blessings that you want for her? This is for you. You have to pay attention.
So number 1, we want her to lead with love for herself, her friends, and her family. 2, we want her to be courageous. 3, to have a sense of humor, of course, to be silly and don't be afraid to show it. 4, confidence, just like mommy. 5, kindness, and that one's from Grammy and Poppy over there. And then curiosity from Uncle Andy and Auntie Courtney. And of course, empathy from us.
If she could have all of those things in her life, how amazing her life would be, in addition to the love that the 2 of you have for her. You know, I think she likes me because we share a similar haircut. I think she's like, whoa, he looks just like me, right? Is that right? That's right. I'd like to invite the Cantor up, and we're going to bless you with a priestly benediction, another blessing that is said at weddings. But is this your bar mitzvah talit? Whose talit is this? This is your great-grandfather's, though, isn't it? Great-great-grandfather. So we just wrap you in this as we wrap you in generations that came before you. And all the stuff that we've literally done in this room. He became a man in this room. Well, he had his bar mitzvah in this room. And there's been just wonderful occasions that we've celebrated together, and we've been sad together, we've been happy together, and this is just another one of those moments, which I actually will talk about a little bit later, that just kind of makes up all of life. And what an incredible moment this is to see that you've created this incredible being that's going to make a difference in the world.
You're already boring, huh?
Not the first time. Okay.
You ready?
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's face shine on you, and may God be good to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God's presence be with you in your life, all of you, and may you find that you have wholeness. There's some completeness. May you have peace. Amen.
Amen. Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yeilanu. We all say mazel tov. 1, 2, 3, mazel tov.
That was really, does anyone else have any other babies they'd like to bring up? Because that's really nice to be close to babies. We can give him a couple of years. That's okay. Let's go to page 28. Oh, this is for you. It's a little certificate in here. You can have this too. Go to page 28 for the Baruch Hu, if you'd please rise. You may be seated. We just turn to page 32 now for Avat Olam. No? Oh, we're not? So let's go then to page 34. And really, we've been working our way up to this moment where we came in and we brought Shabbat into the room. We've named a child. We brought ourselves to our prayers, and now we get to the Shema on page 34 and 35. But the tradition is really to close your eyes. So I encourage you to close your eyes. Take a breath. This is that moment in the middle of the service where we try to connect outside of ourselves to kind of the oneness that makes up everything. The energy and the space in this room. The fact that we all found ourselves here this evening for whatever reason. And our energies are all combining as one. So when we sing Shema, we tie ourselves to each other as a human family. Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malachuto Leolam Va'ed. We continue with Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Sorry, we're actually going to continue with Michamocha. I'm sorry.
Let's go to page 40, and we'll sing together Micha Mocha.
It's totally my fault.
You heard that.
Yes.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai. Micha mocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei feleh Nora tehilot osei feleh Malchutecha ra'uvanecha Okeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Zeini anu ve'yameru Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed Adonai Imloch Leolam Va'ed. We move to page 43. And there's a special melody written by Noah Aronson, who is a Jewish musical artist. I think he's in New York now, right? Isn't he in New York?
He is.
And he wrote an album called The Left Side of the Page, because in this Siddur, the left side of the page is all poetry. And so he put a lot of the poetry that's on the left side of the page of this Siddur to music. And he did the one on the top of page 43, Let There Be Love. And it's a little bit of a plug because we have a love Shabbat coming up where we're going to celebrate whatever love you want to celebrate. And he's going to be our musical guest that night. So this is just a little preview for March 24th, which is only 2 weeks away. Let there be love.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shomreinu Lechayim. Ufros aleinu, Sukat Shlomecha. Let there be love and understanding among us.
One more time, try that with me.
Let there be love
And understanding among us.
Let peace and friendship
Be our shelter from life's storms.
We continue now on page 46. Page 46 is one line. May my whatever's in my heart and my soul come up to my lips and come out so that I can properly do my prayers. That first line that we say, we give ourselves a little space for that. So there's 6 words, and on the first 3 words you go back with 3 tiny steps, and you leave yourself a little space. And then you fill that space on the next 3 steps so that you kind of come into a clean, fresh space for your prayers. So if you'd please rise, we're on page 46. See if you can do that little 3 and 3.
Adonai tzvatai tiftach. Adonai tzvatai tiftach. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ufi yagid
Please continue silently through page 62 or prayers in your heart. When you're done, you may be seated. As we continue on, we're on page 253. I'd like to take a moment at every service to think about those people that are in our hearts and minds because they're ill. So we'll sing the first half of this prayer on 253, and then I have a list to read. We have a list to read that's online, and then I'll come across inside here, and I'll try to make eye contact with everyone. And as I get to where you are, if you call out loud the names of the people you love that are in need, and we'll gather the names into our hearts and pray in the second half of the blessing on behalf of all of those that need help. Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor Abraham Leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Charles Ehrenberg, Dolores Benjamin, Emily Eskenazi, Marlene Brer, Chana Batsara, Eitan Chaim, Richard Charnock, David Childs, Ann Childs, Woody Clark, Jay Clement, Iris Cutler, Richard Dickies, Judy Fenton, Gary Goldblum, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale, Helene Hale, Lori Haynes, Naomi Bat Chaim Ishai Uvrana, Sis Klein, T. Kiriatsis, Greg Lombardo, Kathleen Agnes McCarthy, Sheila Merowitz, David Pick, Deborah Rhodes, Warren Roston, Sandy Silas, Lindy Sobel, Mabube Soleimani, Mojdeh Soleimani, Jesse Taylor, Bill Terry, Phyllis Torres, Harav Aharona Bat Tzvia Yosef, Halina Wachtel, Pessel Bat Gittel Ve'ichel, Sonia Ann Weggy, Amanda Wolin, Yudit Bat Nehama Mordechai, and Howard Zellico.
Lynn Sine, Steve Coonan, David Kunkel, Judy Fenton, Norma Arujo, Charlotte O'Malley, Scott Sheedlower, Paulette Miller, Audrey and Judith Bennis, Lupe Diaz family, Lois Lebman, Rita Newman, Mary and family Angel and Chris Angelo, Lisa Tuckman, Sayer, Lisa, Menachem Mendel, Ben Avraham, Penina, Tova, Tamima.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema,
the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Imagine you're Moses on the top of Mount Sinai. It's like the greatest day of his life, right? He's receiving the Ten Commandments. How much better can it be than that? He's literally met God like, well, face to back, but literally met God. It's like the highlight of his professional career. And then he comes down the mountain, and when he gets to the foot of the mountain, he sees Israelites dancing around the golden calf, singing, "This is our God," which at the time was a very big hit, but not for long. So what was that moment? What would that moment be to us? It's that moment that literally comes out of nowhere that just shatters everything, right? You think you're going along and one thing's happening, and all of a sudden something happens that completely changes it. It's a moment you least expected. It's the one that wasn't planned. Now, for the worse, but also for the better as well. So there are several things I think to learn from this. So here's one commentary by Rashbam, who lived in the 12th century. He says, when Moses saw the golden calf, he became physically too weak to continue to carry the weight of the tablets, and he threw them as far as possible away from himself so that they would not drop on his feet. This is the way all persons who throw away a burden that they carry around, which has become too heavy for them, they all do this. This is the way Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer explains this verse. It's like, have you ever had that moment, where the burden's so heavy that you just need to let go of it and you want to get rid of it as far as possible? Because we always think of Moses being angry, right, and throwing the tablets down. But this idea is more like he was so overwhelmed that it was just too much and he couldn't hold them anymore. So it's one of those things where you're like, whoop, because he didn't want to drop them on his feet. That first second that we experience this moment, right, this surprising moment that can happen to us, it can take all the power out of us. We can be left feeling like helpless, like we have no control. It's like the weight of the moment was too much. The weight of the moment was too much for Moses at that particular time. He couldn't do what he had been asked to do. So it wasn't so much that he was angry, but it shook him to his core. He lost his strength. Can't you remember a moment when that happened to you? Right? I mean, there are those moments in our lives when something happens and our strength is just completely taken outside of us. By the way, really happy things happen too, and we don't know what to do with it, and our emotions are too strong, and we're just kind of all out of control. So consider this second thing from Shemot Rabbah. Quote, he started feeling bad that he had broken the tablets. And God told him, do not feel bad about the first tablets, for they only contain the 10 Commandments. However, in the second tablets I will give you, they will have halakha, all Jewish law, midrash, and agadah, explanations and stories. This is what is said in Job, I will tell you hidden wisdom, for it shall be double comforting. And indeed, what happens in the Torah portion is God's like, look, make 2 more tablets, go back up the mountain, and we're going to inscribe on those 2 tablets the same exact thing we inscribed on the first. Now, if you join me for my class on Thursday, our Torah class, we realize this set of 10 commandments that Moses puts on this second set are completely different than the ones that we actually know. Look it up. It's actually pretty fascinating, but that's completely different to our Torah, and we don't have enough time for both of them. So I've never been one to say that everything happens for a reason. It's just not part of my kind of life philosophy. But at these moments when things happen against our will, or they happen that shake us to our core, I believe this interpretation that I just read hints at how we can deal better with what happens to us. And this isn't easy. This is just, I'm throwing this out there for us all to think about. Because what comes next after that moment is an opportunity to deepen our whole experience of life by adding on to what came before it. The opportunity that we have is only revealed to us as we continue to make our way through our lives. Perhaps it's these difficult moments, these really, really tough moments that shake us and that change our lives together. They change our lives, but it's without judgment. It's without intention. So that what really is left is the opportunity to move forward just in a different way than we thought we were going to have to move forward. It demands kind of a new reality of what you were thinking about, so that what happens next wouldn't have been revealed if it weren't for this other moment that you just experienced. So, if we think about what happens next in our story, there is a tradition that says the broken shards of the 10 Commandments that Moses broke are picked up and put in their own ark. And there's actually 2 arks that the Israelites carry through. There's 2 traditions, by the way. There's 2 arks. I like that one a little better. And then there's a tradition that the old was put in with the new, so that they were all in one ark. But I just like this idea that there's 2 of them, right? You have the one that they have that's whole, that's full, that's got everything they need. And then they're also dragging along the broken shards of a past that they probably don't even want to remember. So it's the same with us, right? Whatever happens to us in that shocking moment, whatever happens to us, that comes with us. And we can either just push it aside, or we can embrace it and say, yup, this is part of my life. This is going to come with me. And it's a reminder that this idea of wholeness, our wholeness, is actually made up of everything. It's made up of all of these little moments that add up together to make a whole life. So it's like it's like the baby naming we just had, right? Is a little moment in your lives, a little moment in that baby's life, yet it has significance because now she has this name. She's a part of this people. I mean, there's so much that goes with that. And when she's up to have her bat mitzvah, we'll recall this day where we were standing right here and giving her that blessing. It's all part of that same journey that we're all on. So, when I talk about carrying these broken shards with us, again, it's good stuff, it's bad stuff, it's all the stuff that happens in our lives. It could be an accident, it could be a dissolved relationship, it could be someone's death, it could be our own transgression, it could be someone being born, because our lives, they contain all of that. None of us are going to be living our lives without amazing things happening to us and really, really difficult moments happening to us. What do we do with both of those? And, partly that's what Judaism is for, right? That's what religion is for, is to help us to deal with the ebbs and the flows and what happens to us in our lives. So for me, it's all really kind of about resilience. That we're never fully whole. We can only strive to be whole. And it includes everything, right? It includes the stuff we feel really bad about in our lives. It includes the stuff we feel great about. It includes our pain. It includes our sadness. It includes the things we relish and the things we celebrate and the things we love. Noam Elimelech, one of the Hasidic masters, he talks about how each experience and event puts us in a different state, like a different state of being. And his comment is that no one state is greater than another. No one state of our lives is more important than another. That they're all kind of equal importance, so that we live our lives and we move kind of going from state to state. And sometimes the state of feeling is a terrible one, and sometimes it's a really positive one, but each state we take with us as we move to the next. So it's not that we forget about what's happened to us, right? The Israelites didn't forget that they had that golden calf moment. And by the way, we're reminded of it every single year as we read it. It just is like the Israelites carrying the shards with them. We carry everything with us behind us. Sometimes it may feel like, we're the ark that's carrying the broken negative shards. Sometimes it may feel like we're carrying the ark that is contained with light for our lives. But if we can allow each state that we exist in to live within each one of those, then we can move forward with a renewed passion for each and every single moment that we live. Shabbat Shalom. Let's go to page 282 now with our concluding prayers. Aleinu it is. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתקנו לה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת שזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים
Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
You may be seated for a moment. We turn now to page 294, and we think about those in our congregational families who have died in this season in years past, for over this last year and in the past 30 days. And we especially remember those families who are observing Shloshim, the families of Ellen Kaminsky and Zachary Zernick. Is there anyone else here observing the first 30 days after the death of a loved one? If you'd please stand and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. We also recall those that have died at this season in years past, especially Soraya Malamed and Florence Warner. And if you look up on the screen, there are some names of others. Bueller. Well, it will come up at some point. We take all of these names into our hearts on this Shabbat, and I'd like to know.
Give me just 1 second on here, too.
I'd like to know if there is someone who is observing a yard site on this Shabbat, the anniversary of a loved one's passing. If you please stand, and as I acknowledge you, tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. And is there anyone here that is in the first year after the death of a loved one that would like to stand and say their name? Robert? Yeah. And we have some names also online.
David Klein, Rajnir, Lavian. That's it.
So let us rise together. In support of the mourners who are here, we also say Kaddish for those who have no one to say it for them. We say it for those that were lost in the Holocaust. We say it for all those that have died from COVID over the last 3 years. And we say it for all of those that have died in the violence of recent times in our world today. Let's read together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kodesha b'rechu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high create harmony amongst us, amongst all the people of the world. And we say, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. Announcements.
Please join us, but not us, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Look at that.
Yes. You want to talk about it?
No.
9 a.m. We will have reception, bagels, etc. It's a little different this week because both of us will not be here, but we are really excited about the morning. Wait, put that back up. All right, so our rabbinic intern, Michael, will be, moderating the whole morning and providing a spiritual experience, but we're really excited to have the dean of the rabbinical school at HUC, Rabbi, I'm right? Joshua Garraway.
I only read that recently that he's the dean.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was.
Yeah, he is coming to speak. The class is called, what does it say on there?
It's like contemporary issues through
Hot
the Torah
button
lens.
issues.
Hot button issues.
Yes.
Do you remember Norbert, when, like years and years ago, when you'd like draw a picture with the hands over like this?
The ideal. Anyways, please come at 9. Starts at 9 tomorrow.
Wasn't that Norbert?
If you are online, our shorter prayer experience will be online at 10 o'clock. It's just not the full service.
Actually, I think 9:30 that's starting. It's a little different tomorrow.
It's a little different
gonna be
tomorrow.
different.
So if you're online, just get on at 9:30 and wait for the alert.
Exactly.
Okay. What's next?
Something really important. Oh.
What's We should be that, like on the, okay. So, good, perfect that my mom is walking in right now.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're on our
You
right
look
side.
a little angry, actually, singing. It's like, doesn't she look a little angry in that
Okay,
picture?
there is nothing angry about this event, except for that we were slaves. That made us kind of angry.
Yes.
Okay, we are hosting a community Seder on the third night of Passover, Friday, April 7th. We will have a band. We will have intriguing discussions. There will be table activities for the kids who will be there. It will be appropriate whether you're 3 or whether you're 110. And we encourage you to bring friends, fill our tables. Let's celebrate Passover for the first time. I swear I think I came to a Temple Emanuel Seder 25 years ago. It's been a long time since we hosted one in person here at Emanuel. So it's the Shabbat of Passover. My mom, Marilyn, she's in the middle. She can raise her hand. She is head of the committee head, and is always looking for help, especially for people to come and help with the decorations and stuff, and to greet people that night. So please RSVP and grab a seat at tbh.org/Passover. Yes, there will be chicken. Yes, there will be brisket. Yes, there will be a vegetarian entree.
I have to go downstairs to get
So there will be matzah kugel, there will be matzo ball soup, there will be et cetera, but yes, for those who are wondering, there will be a vegetarian entree. Please watch for the emails Jenny's putting out where she will ask how many vegetarians you are bringing with you. Yes, meaning you need to request vegetarian.
Thank you.
Got it. All right. Love Shabbat, March 24th. Really, Noah is a dear friend, a mega talented composer and musician, and we're really excited to have him. His presence is so warm. I mean, he's so talented, and I hope everybody will come. You just have to be here every Friday night. Then we never have to do announcements. You just show up.
Exactly.
Okay. And then thank you to Robert Bird and Gail Goldstein, who have, for eternity, are sponsoring this concert, Songs of Freedom. We have moved it to May 21st. It was originally going to be right before Passover, but there's been so much going on, we want to give everybody a breather. So this is an interfaith concert with the St. Bridget's Church Gospel Choir. Take out your phones, save the date, May 21st, 5 p.m. It is our responsibility to build relationships with people in Los Angeles of other religions. It's a scary world sometimes, and it helps to have their support and for us to support them. So we're really excited about that. And I think there's just one more thing.
No, we're having that 3 times.
Is that it? Oh, many reminders. I thought there was one more thing. Anyways, thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Kelly is greeting, I think, outside. Thank you, Tanaz. Thank you for everyone who showed up.
And it's nice to have the Cantor back, right? She's been away a little bit.
My voice is back.
That's it.
I think that's it. Okay, if you're under the age of 6, there's 2 people here. Can you come up? Because I need you to be a guinea pig and sing with me. Lucy? Alyssa? Okay, maybe I should go in front there.
Yeah.
You want to do this?
Oh, okay.
Also, I messed this up. Hold on.
All right, I'll get it.
There we go. All right. So you're going to repeat after me. Can you guys do that? Oh, look, I have 2 mics and 2 not shy kids. It's perfect. Okay. Are you ready? Do you know this? Adon Olam, Adon Olam. Do you know this? No? Neither of you? Great. Perfect learning opportunity. All right. You're going to repeat after me, okay, you guys? All right. Here we. Adon Olam. Asher Malach.
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol. Yetzir Nivra. Le'et Nasa. Behefso kol. Asayim Melech Shemo Nikra. Adon. Let's try that one more time. Adon Olam.
Adon Olam.
Asher Malach.
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol. Yetzir Nivra.
Yetzir Nivra.
Le'et Nasa. Adon Olam ve'acharei kichlot hakol
kol levado yimloch nora adon olam amas vehu haya vehu hove vehu yeh v'tifara adon olam
Adon olam.
asher malach v'terem kol Yetzir Nivra La'et Nasa Bechef Sokol. Just go, oh, come on. Oh, Lucy. Oh,
Azai melech.
Azai Melech Shamo Nikra Adon Olam. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you guys.
Baruch atem b'voachem, Baruch atem b'tzeitchem. You're blessed as you came into this house. May you be blessed as you go out. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.